Hey, what's up guys? Exclusively Lex here, bringing you, this time, a review for a game called Slain Back from Hell. I did receive a review copy for this game, so let's go ahead and jump in. Slain Back from Hell gives you what you want to see from a 2D side-scroller. Definite challenging game, so you're going to die a couple of times right off the bat. Don't think that's going to be one of those simple games you can just jump into and kind of play without really thinking about it. I do recommend playing this game with the controller, not really a keyboard. It's a little bit easier. Of course, you go back to the days of when you used to play those side-scroller games like, Castlevanias and stuff like that with the actual vanity of a controller and not a keyboard. So I definitely suggest playing it with a controller. Now, this game definitely has a great soundtrack, some great metal music in the background that definitely puts you in the mood to play this kind of game. The sound, the feel, the aesthetic of this game is great. The actual art style, which is all pixel 2D, kind of like back in the day, definitely puts you in the mood to play this game some more. The game doesn't feel as fluid as some of those games like back in the day. Like I said, I mentioned Castlevania back, a little bit earlier. It doesn't feel as fluid, but it still feels just as great. You have magic missiles that you throw. You have your basic attacks, and of course, one of the great things about this is the fact that you can block and repel magic attacks. Now, not every zombie or not every enemy is gonna actually get once you hit them, it's gonna kind of bounce back and get stunned, and then you're gonna be able to kind of finish them off really easily. There's some enemies that you gotta understand. Once you hit them, they'll get dazed and get stunned, right? So those are the ones you can finish off pretty quickly. But then there's the enemies that once you hit, it doesn't matter. They're still gonna be coming for you, especially if they're already in the middle of they're doing their attack. Those are the ones you gotta look for. There's also the mini bosses and then the main bosses that you gotta worry about. Sometimes they're harder. Sometimes there's bosses in the middle or like little mini bosses in the middle that you just want to run through and skip. It's up to you if you want to go ahead and feel the completionist inside of you and go ahead and destroy everybody if you can. Another thing about this game is that there's many little conjunctures and pieces around the map that will kill you at any moment's time. You have to look for those little pieces. You got to be wary. You got to keep your eye out for those situations in time. All in all, though, this game is a lot of fun to play, especially if you kind of miss those side scrollers that you want to just jump into. Go ahead and pretty much feel like, hey, they haven't brought back the Castlevania feel. They haven't brought back that 2D side scroller feel that I miss so much. This is a great jumping in point. They kind of had a little bit of trouble when the game first came out, but ever since then they've patched it. They talked to the community. They've brought forth a lot of great improvements to this game from the actual first inception of it, even giving away free game codes to those that stood by them, so they can pretty much say, hey, thank you so much for sticking by us. So with that in mind, it's good to see that the developer is still updating the game and still adding more to it as well, just making sure that the game is great. So if you're looking for this, I definitely recommend picking it up. It's not that bad of a price. And I mean, all in all, they mentioned that it's about 6 hours of fun. How long it takes you to beat it or how long it takes you to get there, it's all up to you. There's, like I said, mini bosses. They mentioned some bosses, mini bosses, the actual bosses themselves. And the best thing about this is no leveling, no grinding. Just pretty much go out there and kill. If you think you can go ahead and accomplish this and go ahead and want some heavy metal feeling in the background, some great art style, definitely go ahead and pick up Slain Back from Hell. This has been exclusively Lex with your quick review. Have a good one.